seconds. So, oh,
that's a terrible crash.
And it's Zonta in the other VAR. Well, this is quite appalling. Now, is he all right?
I think I saw him throw the steering wheel off. Yes, he's getting out. He's gone off on the way into Eau Rouge this time. So that is amazing. So I think you'll find he goes down the hill when they do a replay and straight into the wall on the way in. Very much a la Zanardi a few years ago in the Lotus. And that is a massive accident. Zonta goes across the curve, look, and what happens? No, it is on the way out. Are we looking at the right one? No, he's dropped it on the look in the bottom of the hill and then hits before he gets to the top of the. Oh, and he's already rolling over. Look, that is a very, very bad accident. But once again, the BAR driver stepping clear.
Martin, I must be very careful what I say, but as you watch this replay of Zonta with the car spinning and all the wheels off, all four wheels off, notwithstanding those tethers that are supposed to keep them on, but the forces are so tremendous I doubt that anything would keep them on. I remind ourselves that Jacques Villeneuve there, who's sitting in the car, had his suspension collapse yesterday. Now we've had a BAR go off and destroy and another one.
Yeah, I don't think that was a suspension collapse. I think they're bottoming out as you go into the foot of the hill. Just as you turn right, you bury into a little compression, and if you run out of suspension travel, it all goes into the tyre. The tyre is an undamped spring, pops the car up in the air. You lose rear grip. I think it was an identical situation to Villeneuve. I've only seen it once there, but I think it was an identical situation to Villeneuve, except in his accident happened slightly earlier in the end. So terrible accident there for Zonta, look, and he's got his head buried in the front and thinking, please stop, don't let this accident go on any longer.
Well, quite apart from anything else, any other problems they've got, VAR have only got one car left now, and that's the spare one in which Jacques Villeneuve is sitting. Fortunately for them, apart from Silverstone, Spa is the nearest circuit to their base in England, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're having to fly out an awful lot of stuff to build up a new car as an even more downcast Craig Pollock walks into the garage, having seen two of his 3 team cars comprehensively destroyed in just a few minutes.
Zonta, of course, broke his leg earlier in the season,
Brazil.
In Brazil, wasn't it?
Practice at Brazil, yes, he went off. Here we are.
Here we go, look. And it's in that compression in the bottom of the hill now, and pendulum effect, and it goes straight over, but the gravel trap has launched him. And I think the damage was done from rolling over rather than whacking into the wall, which is still why he's still got so much momentum when he clears over the top into Raidillon. But I would think Craig Pollock is saying to Villeneuve, maybe we should stop, maybe we should halt the programme and understand what's going on here.
Yeah, and if he did, and they were able to get things worked out and sorted, Villeneuve wouldn't be in a bad position for the race tomorrow. 8th on the grid at the present moment, 19.5 minutes left to go when the session which has been stopped is restarted. And of course it's going to take for as long to remove the remains of Zonta's BAR as it took to remove the remains of Villeneuve's car.
Yes, and we've got 4 drivers who have now got 2 laps extra accredited to them because they were on a lap again when the red flag came out, which is Frentzen, Sarlo, Johnny Herbert and Pedro Diniz. So they're getting the lap. I think they should actually get 2 laps back, Murray, because to make a use of an extra 1 lap, you've got to get back out and do your out lap. So you should be given 2 laps extra, not 1, in my view. But they've got laps in their pocket, but just 19 minutes and 37 seconds left. They're taking Zonta into the medical unit where, as a matter of course, they'll want to check him over. But any car that has a horrible colour scheme like that is bound to have a bad season, in my view.
Well, Professor Sid Watkins, who is the boss of the FIA Safety Commission, is responsible for all sorts of changes to the cars, to the safety arrangements around the track, the gravel traps, and it's an ongoing situation. Now, look at the BAR. He's doing about 190 miles an hour on the approach to this section that he's in there. The back steps out. Now, over the curb, it will pirouette on the curb as the flat bottom of the car acts as a pivot. It's completely gone, of course, rolls over, crosses the track and hits the circuit in much the same area that Villeneuve did.
Difficult to get a really close view, but I still don't think there was a failure. I still think it was a handling drama that created the spin in the first place, but it'll be nearly impossible to check, to find out now. That's the trouble. They'll have the telemetry, the data box will tell them if suspension fails. You can see the load completely changing on that corner and the opposite corner at the front. If it's a left rear, for example, you'll see the loads change on the right front too. And that is all in the data recorder, so they can have an autopsy to see roughly what went wrong with the car, but I believe it will not be a failure.
And back again to Louise and Craig Pollock.
Craig, me again. Incredible, two massive great big accidents in the space of 10 minutes. Are these two accidents related?
I'd say they are related in such a way that both drivers did exactly the same thing. They tried to go through Eau Rouge flat, and luckily both drivers are okay. Obviously there's an awful lot of material damage, and we'll have to start worrying a little bit about the race, but the first thing I'd like to see is what is up with Ricardo, who's just coming in now.
You did have a problem with one of your cars yesterday, a technical failure. Today's accident's related to that?
Totally unrelated. Everything that happened yesterday has been repaired and strengthened up, and there's nothing to do with that. I don't think anything was wrong with the car, but you'll have to ask the drivers later to actually find out what happened.
So there's no problem with Jacques taking part in the rest of the qualifying session then?
Absolutely not, as long as he brings the car back.
Where does this leave you for the race? Because at the moment you've only got one car. If you got more back at the factory, what are you going to do?
Well, we'll do everything we can to have two cars out there.
And is that a likelihood?
That's what we're here for.
So you do have more cars back at the factory that you can bring out here?
We have to see how bad the first car is and see if we can repair it, see if we've got some spare tubs, and I'm sure we'll have two cars out tomorrow.
We hope you have. You certainly need some luck, Craig.
Well, if you think your job is stressful, just spare a thought for Craig Pollock. Not a lot going on here at the moment. Let's go for a break.